Wally Sparks. Wally Sparks.
Wally Sparks.
Rodney Dangerfield.
That's right.
That'd be the guy.
And that, as much as anything else, led to my drinking problem.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Paul Workman. I am the man of constant hatred.
And I'm Manny Classic, and this is Drinking Age Movies, a review show where we review movies from 21 years ago.
And this week we're saying happy 21st birthday to Meet Wally Sparks. And we're finally getting out of the January dump.
Guess who's back?
Just take those old records
Where he doesn't belong.
Wait till I tell the guys I had you in my cab.
First of all, you never had me. And if you did have me, it wouldn't be in a cab.
Rodney Dangerfield is...
Sparks?
Why do you say we all get naked and see who the best man is?
Released on January 31st, 1997, Meet Wally Sparks is directed by Peter Baldwin and starring Wally Sparks himself, Rodney Dangerfield.
Rodney Dangerfield is playing a talk show host who is about to lose his show. So he comes up with a stunt in order to get a Georgia governor on his show in order to save it. Okay, so after 21 years, how does this one hold up?
You know, not bad. The cinematography was, I guess, what it could be for 1997. It wasn't an awful film to look at in terms of lighting. It was alright cinematography-wise. Wasn't a whole lot going on. I mean, most of it's honestly a one-stage kind of play.
Mm-hmm.
So, not bad.
Yeah, some wonky editing. Fair enough to look at. It's not aged badly, but it definitely is kind of a product of its time in and of itself. Plot kind of revolves around syndicated television, which is not too much of a thing right now, and it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
Now, cultural impact. How do we see this after 21 years?
So, in terms of movie landscape, I don't think it did anything to influence movies later on. It doesn't seem to be one of the high notes in Rodney Dangerfield's rather illustrious career.
Unfortunately.
With that being said, though, it does give significant cultural impact to television at the time. It was almost parodying the change in TV talk shows from informational or focus on guests to being more media sensations, viewership spectacles, attributing to the violent kind of, I don't want to say nature of humanity at the time, but almost like this weird bloodlust that kind of surged throughout. And yeah, it's oddly specific to watch given landscaping of what's going on.
Yeah, I mean, in today's culture with as much reality television is going on, it definitely shows out the 15 minutes of fame that everybody's been trying to get. Especially, this was in the mid to late 90s. This is where the 15 minutes could come from, as to where looking forward to getting your own reality television show or doing something spectacular on the internet is now how people garnered their 15 minutes of fame. So it was kind of a little bit of a harbinger of things to come, but it was still a product of its time.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
So overall, how do we feel about this film?
There's some wonky plotting issues. There's some unusual kind of, especially in the middle of the film, there's like the weirdest cut edit I've ever seen in a film for no reason. But it was okay. It's enjoyable if you like Rodney Dangerfield. Most of what he's doing is Rodney Dangerfield.
Hey, I'm talking about a wild girl here, know what I mean?
How wild, Wally!
I mean wild. But she licked the stamp, Elvis started smiling. Well, that's it, folks. I'll see you Monday, when our topic will be sex after 10 years of marriage. Should the wife know about it?
He didn't really stray from it. There was no new ground covered. There's a lot of celebrities.
Yeah, I feel this was a real cameo fest. It's one of those films that was written by Rodney Dangerfield, to be for Rodney Dangerfield so that he can give off his kind of comedy and then show how many famous friends he has and he has acquired over his decades of fame at this point.
Yeah, you gotta think, like, this is the first film Michael Bolton has been in.
The first.
The first.
Actually, I didn't look that up, so that's...
This is the first film he has been in.
Jeez. Yeah, I mean, then you get cameos from Tim Allen, you get cameos from Roseanne Barr, Morton Downey Jr. of all people. There's just a list of celebrity cameos, and they just seem to keep coming out of the woodwork.
Yeah, it is a veritable who's who of pretty much late 80s to where we are in the 90s when this film takes place.
Yeah.
Just a lot of heavy hitters throughout everything.
Yeah, people who were still on top of their games as far as what they were doing respectively, and people who were definitely big hitters in the subject matter as well.
Yeah.
I mean, Sally Jesse Raphael, Jerry Springer, Geraldo Rivera were all big names in the talk show industry, and they all make cameos in this film.
Yeah, Morton Downey Jr., who had that Morton Downey Jr. show at the time.
Absolutely.
A lot of big names.
Yeah, I found most of the comedy itself was a big miss. A lot of it's remarkably unfunny.
Yeah, there's a few sensible chuckle moments.
Yeah,
but there was never any hearty belly laughter. I felt.
No, and if there was, it was kind of on accident in the worst ways possible. And there was a lot of, like you said, wonky plotting where something shows up to be a problem later, but wasn't the way they got to it in the first place.
Yeah.
So Rodney Dangerfield comes down, escapes the house from a tree, and suddenly there's a ladder put in play that gets broken, and it's a big problem for him, even though that's not the way he left the house.
That's a thing.
That happened. And then, of course, there's that kid with a really bad Southern accent.
There's a lot of false Southern accents in this movie.
A lot of really, really bad Southern accents. So I guess based on our scale, I'm giving this a pretty damn bad.
Rodney was Rodney. The film is what it is. But the problem is it isn't what it should have been, given Rodney Dangerfield. I'm also going to go pretty damn bad.
So what did you think of Meet Wally Sparks? Have you even seen it? Has anybody seen it? Let us know. Leave a comment below.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you'd like to know when we put videos out, you can click on the bell icon, which will give you notifications sent right to you when we release new videos.
And as always, have a damn fine day.